Hey guys, and we are making good old potato salad today. And what we're going to be using is just a regular russet potato. You can use red potatoes, whatever you like. But today I'm going to be using just regular russet potatoes. Now I'm not making much potato salad today, so I'm only going to use a few potatoes, maybe 4, 5. I'm going to use a few, but not that many because we're not making that much. So what you want to do is just get them all together, the amount that you want to use. And I have some water boiling on the stove already, and I've added some salt to the water. So now all I'm going to do is just put the potatoes in the boiling pot. Okay, now we just have the eggs, and what I do with the eggs is I just put them in there with the boiling water with the potatoes, so you don't waste another pot. And with the potatoes, you let the water boil first, and then you place them in there gently, so they don't crack. And you want to boil them for 10 minutes. Now you're going to take those out before the potatoes are done, but from the time that they start boiling to the time that they're done, is 10 minutes from when you put it in there. And that's just a good rule of thumb, so they're nice and they're not overdone. So now these are the potatoes as they're done, and I'm just putting them there so that they can cool. And my eggs are done, and they're here too, and they're just cooling too. But I want to show you a trick that my mom taught me to tell when your eggs are done. These are the cooked eggs right here, and they're hot. And this is the raw egg. Now, if you can, when you can tell they're done, is if you spin the egg and it just keeps spinning out of control. That's how you know it's done. So that's what I do. I take it out the thing and see if it's done that way. Now, when you roll a raw egg, then you spin it. Then it doesn't spin. Doesn't spin. And I think I've said potato earlier. Sorry about that. But it won't spin. So that's just a little trick for you. So now that the potatoes are done, we're going to cut them. Now, when you took the potatoes out and cooled, the skin should just come off very, very easily. Now we're just going to cut them, and you can cube them in big chunks, little chunks, however you want to cut them. I do them in fairly medium chunks. I just don't like great big chunks of potatoes in my potato salad. So I just do like a little medium type of cut on them. And just be careful because they are fragile at this time, and you try not to handle them too much because they will get all mushy. So I'm just going to cut another one just so that you can see. I do one down the middle and two on each side. And then I take one and go through the middle that way, so that all you have to do is cut them and they will be in little squares, just like that. Okay, so now they're all cut up, and we'll start to get those ready to make our salad. Now all the potatoes are cut up, and here they are. Um, so now all of them are nice and medium chunked. So now we're going to get our salad together. Now those are the onions that I cut up. I just used probably about a cup and a half of those. And I'm going to take the eggs and I'm going to cut them, but I cut them a little chunky because I do like chunks of egg in my potato salad. I don't like little teeny bits of egg. So I cut them kind of, chunky on there just so I can get a little bit of chunk of egg when I'm eating them. So there's our eggs and our onions all mixed together. So I'm just mixing that together. That's less mixing. So now my potatoes are all cut up and they're in the bowl with the eggs and the onions. So now I'm going to add mayonnaise. Now usually I just take a spoon. Not much is coming out, but You know, I'm just kind of, it's a brand new jar, so I'm just going to kind of squeeze out what I think might work so far. And then you're just going to fold that in. You're not going to stir it hard. You know, you're just going to fold it because you don't want to mash up the potatoes. So you just kind of do it gently and just fold it all through and make sure all of the mayonnaise is covering the potatoes. And that way you'll know if you need more or not just by folding it in and gradually kind of getting that all mixed up. So now I'm going to add some seasoning, and I don't like real celery and stuff, so I'm going to use some celery seed. Um, but I like the flavor of celery. I just don't like the actual celery. So I'm using some celery seed for flavoring. And you can use whatever seasonings you like, but I'm going to also use some black pepper. And you can put a generous amount. That was probably a couple of teaspoons. And I'm going to use some regular plain salt. Not a whole bunch, but just enough because you have the mayonnaise and all the other things too. So you don't want to make it salty because we're still going to incorporate some other things. Okay, so now I'm going to add some pickle relish, some sweet relish. Not a whole lot, but you know, enough. And just put as much as you like, but I think I just put a little too much. So I'm going to take a little bit of this out and just throw it away. Sometimes we make those kind of mistakes cooking, but you know, it's okay. So you want to add a little bit of sweet relish. And now I'm going to add some regular yellow mustard, but you only need a little bit. You're kind of just adding it for color and just a little bit of extra flavoring. And just stir and fold that in as well. And then here we are. This is our potato salad. I took some paprika, sprinkled it across the top, and we are all good to go.